another rendition of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series here. This time at the brand new, just released about 6 days ago, the simulated Atlanta Speedway / Super Speedway, if you want to call it that. We're just at Nashville. They called that Super Speedway. I think that's incorrect. This is the next true Super Speedway. 1.54 miles, same length, but 4 to 5 degrees more banking. And if you see on your screen right now, they are 2 and 3 wide. And partaking a little bit of practice with these guys yesterday. And this track is amazing. You've heard me call it out a couple times throughout the year, hoping this track came out, and it finally did. And it's not letting me down just yet. Weather's looking pristine at 81 degrees in the air temp and then 97 on the track. So it's a little hot, not as hot as what we've seen in the past this season, but should make for a good race overall. These trucks do get loose here. It's when the tire wear comes down 20-30 laps, you guys are going to see some things at a Super Speedway you've never seen before with looseness and whatnot. So, but enough all that said. My name's Jay Stan. Over here on your left-hand corner on the bottom is a new, fresh-looking Mr. Kashibi Neck over there, man. How's it going?
It's good. Jeremy's glad to be back up in the booth. I had a little sickness last week, so Dustin filled in for me. Appreciate that, but I'm glad to be back up in here and get some racing going.
Yeah, definitely glad to get you back in here. I know Dustin doesn't too fond of the double duty, but he does it well. So props to him for that. But good to have you back here on this Wednesday here, especially for Atlanta. This track's going to bring lots of excitement. Dustin's going to have his hands full trying to get all the action taken care of for you. Got about 3.5 minutes left in this practice session, and I know you haven't been here too long. I just noticed the track, Ken. What's your overall thoughts so far watching these guys go around this 1.54 mile Super Speedway?
It should be interesting tonight, just see what they do. Interesting to see how these guys qualify. I know it's going to be different once the race gets going, so qualifying really probably won't be much tonight. But we'll see how it goes. It should be some exciting racing tonight. Like I said, I haven't seen much of it so far, so I expect that it'll be pretty well tonight.
Yeah, so the rule book, iRacing does not govern the double white line here. It's only at Talladega and Daytona because they leave it up to the 1.5 mile part. So Brody over at FTSR, he has decided to implement the Super Speedway ruling into effect for these trucks tonight and for Monday in the Cup Series. So these guys will be holding to the outside of that white line at all costs unless forced down below that line. There's a lot of open asphalt there on the lower half of this straightaway on the front stretch. So you see a big wreck here involving several trucks. When Grassi eats the wall, then we have 2 trucks on their lid randomly at one time. That's pretty impressive, and that's not going to be too uncommon being a Super Speedway at only a mile and a half. So, but yeah, you got to stay above the line. You can't venture down there to pass. It is a really bumpy apron. They didn't make it smooth for a reason. So these guys will have to pay attention to that tonight so they don't get flagged for any penalties.
Yeah, just the slightest of touch right there in practice. We saw that big wreck cause. It was just a little touch as they were going through the tri-oval there and spun them around. So they're testing it, seeing what they can do tonight, seeing where they can push, where they can't push, how much they can push. So I feel like once we get this thing green flag, it'll be like typical FTSR where you might have a caution or two, but we're gonna have a long green flag run, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. The long run's going to be tricky, even with the 4-truck pack that we had going yesterday and testing right before tonight. 4 trucks, about 20 laps in. There is tire wear. I'm not used to that on Super Speedway, so these trucks were getting loose, getting a little sideways. You couldn't really run up next to the guy in that situation, so you kind of have to play the draft a little differently than you would normally at the bigger boy tracks. And with the bumping especially, it is doable all the way around the track. Even in the tri-oval, but when the tire wear starts to kick in, front stretch is not really usable for that front bumper. It can be depending on how well your setup's tuned for that long run, but overall though, what I noticed personally, if you're on the back stretch and you're trying to tango someone, especially on the high side, the straightaway is really short. It's not like your 2.5 miles. So when you get locked up into that bumper, as soon as you're locked in, you're essentially ready for the next corner. So you kind of have to keep the mental awareness. Hey, I got to make this corner a little earlier.
Yeah, and kind of one other thing I was looking at too before we, head off to qualifying. Richie Coy still leading the way in points, 16 points ahead of Justin Belmonte. He only gained 2 points last week, with Richie finishing outside top five and Justin just gaining just a little bit. But Richie Coy still keeping that lead. A couple of 6 races in, so he's trying to go for that championship still.
Yeah, it's all up for grabs tonight. Richie Coy trying to rebound from last week's a little miscue. He had a couple issues with a couple people, kind of set him back in the field. I think he finished sixth, if I'm not mistaken, last week. So he's got some work to do to bring his point lead back up into a comfortable position. But it is qualifying. It is time to get our faces off your guys' screens. Start thanking some people, of course, that we do each and every week and every broadcast for that matter. Full Throttle Sim Racing.net or the short version FTSR.net. That's your place to go if you want to join for some high intensity racing. Whether if you're looking to be on a broadcast here with us on Monday or Wednesdays, or if you want to do it free on the Thursdays or Saturdays, this is the place to sign up for. We're just entering week number 6 of 14, so you got quite some time left over. Get signed up over at FTSR.net. Thank you to Mach 1 Performance for the Monday night sponsorship over there on the Cup Series for the Full Throttle Sim Racing. It's a fabrication shop that's produced champions and winners from all sorts of racing divisions like the SCCA and NASA, dirt and pavement oval racing. So if you have a car that needs some work done to it and Mach 1 is in your area, please go pay them a visit. It's going to be well worth it. Sim Racing Points, your tonight's Truck Series sponsor every Wednesday. It's your points league management system. It's an all-in-one. It takes care of your league entirely and makes your league look professional. And it's pretty damn easy to read everything that you're looking for. So if you need something like that for your league, head over to simracingpoints.com. Good price point, considering how much data it does show you and how easy it's applied. And you can do full-page layouts. You can do widgets. Whatever you want, they got your back. simracingpoints.com. Thank you to Martin Sports. It's our long-term partner over here at the Nerditudes headquarters. MartinSports906.com makes basically your upper half from your head down to your waistline. They got you covered. They got shirts, hoodies, hats, standard T-shirts, polos, that kind of thing. And it's all custom printed to whatever you want. Or you can just pick from, all their partners that they have on their live shop there online. So head over to martinsports906.com, and you're going to use that green code there at the bottom, Super Nerd, for 25% off anything you purchase. Thank you to iRacing, iFlag as well, the flag partner for the Nerditudes. It's a little box that sits on your desk, and it takes care of all of your iRacing notifications and flags, up to 30 different notifications that this little device displays for you on a 64 LED system. Really bright, easy to know exactly what's going on the track. So if you need something like that to kind of complete your sim rig to make it as real as possible, you're going to pick one of these up at iRacingIFlag.com, and you're going to use that Super Nerd checkout code this time, 15% off. I thank you to the Butt Kicker for the official audio enhancement partner for the Nerditudes as well. We have them in-house, and these things definitely make you perform much better than what you're really intending, because they bring all the bumps and feels of the track into your seat. So if you're a racer at heart and you actually race in real life, this kind of completes the rig. It makes you feel like you're actually at the track. One of a kind product. And so you're going to go to thebuttkicker.com and pick one up with that Nerd TV checkout code this time, 20% off. Thank you to Moonlight Speed. Head over to moonlightspeed.com if you're looking for any oval pavement racing wins in your win column, from Advanced Legends all the way to the next gen. They got you covered, and the best of the business, just killing it, especially this past week or so. They've been laying down some of the best setups out there. So you're going to head over to moonlightspeed.com, join their Discord. They updating these things all the time. I keep saying it, and they're built by professionals all the time, updating these 2 to 3 times a week to make you for sure getting the best possible chance to get you in victory lane. houseofspeed.us, same deal, essentially just on the dirt side. So any dirt oval racing that you're doing, and if it's an open setup, you're going to want to head over to houseofspeed.us and get signed up on their site. Whether if you can do a weekly series or if you want to sign up for the subscription, they're going to get you wins on that dirt side as well. So once again, houseofspeed.us. And then lastly, Nerd Focus over here at Nerd. Uh, we turn to this drink because it works well. It's a think drink that lets you stay hyper focused for hours on it, no matter what you're doing, and it tastes great without any of that harsh crash that most drinks present out there. And it comes in two flavors. It's going to be the green, which is your sugar, and blue is sugar free. Either way, tastes great. So you got best of both worlds there. Head over to nerdfocus.com and use Super Nerd at checkout. This time, 10% off. All right, Kenny, these guys have gridded onto pit road here to start this race off for 130 laps. If you want to go ahead and run down that running order for us.
Yeah, Jeff Langston's going to go ahead and take the pole top spot tonight. Starting beside him in second is going to be Andrew Pawicki. Rolling off in third, the rookie Justin Belmonte. Fourth is going to be Wayne Grossi. Fifth is Richie Coy. Sixth is going to be Brody Hanna. Seventh, Gil Gawk. Rolling off eighth is going to be Sherwood Wilford. Ninth is Tony Solari. And starting in 10th is your defending champion, Bobby Terrell.
11th place, Nicholas Casey. 12th place, Chuck Sweeting. 13th place, you're going to find Kevin Rupert. To his outside 14th, Kenneth Scholes, which actually he's our in-sim rig driver tonight. So we might be able to see him and talk to him if there's any cautions. 15th, you're going to find Lane Allen. And last is going to be Jeff Branton. Going to round out the 16 truck field this evening. And it's going to be 130 laps. This 200 miler race. So this track is, you guys are in for a show. This is going to be a lot of fun. If you've caught the real world race earlier this season in NASCAR, it was a really fun excitement track. And with these guys FTSR, and at least in the little test session I saw on the practice, this is going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's only 6. I mean, we did have 16. We've been averaging about 16, 17, 18 a race, but I thought we might see a little bit more tonight. But going to have 16 drivers making the field tonight. So we'll see how it goes tonight. But good amount of people out tonight.
Yeah, you see right there Kenneth Scholes on your right-hand side with his VR headset, being our sim rig driver. We didn't give him much action last week because there was no cautions, so we kind of highlighted them in the beginning, and that was it. So maybe we'll have a chance tonight. When you go green flag from start to finish, it's always the most preferred way for leagues. It makes the race quicker. There's less people getting frustrated because they're not getting wrecked. So we love to see the non-caution races, but Kenneth is excited. He wants to be pulled in for an interview, and I'm definitely not pulling him during a Super Speedway, that's for sure. So if there's a caution, I'm going to try to jump on that as best I can. This being a newer track as well, new configuration, it's going to present some issues, especially the long run. There's a lot of unknowns. This track's only been on the service for 6 days. So overall, there's not been too much practice in the sim world. So looks like Jeff Langston has this thing figured out. Andrew Pawicki too, yeah.
Jeff Langston's actually got the EOL because he received a penalty from last week, so he got the pole tonight, but he's going to be starting at the end of the pack tonight.
Well, you know what? You're absolutely correct. That's going to move Belmonte into first place, so he's going to be in control of that start. Good call there, Ken. This pace car is about to pull down. Let's see if Belmonte can continue that good run that he had last week. He's been picking up some steam recently. Let's see if he can continue that up. It's a whole new field. Who's got the best setup? Who's got enough practice to make this thing happen? Your normal Daytona setup will not work. Green flag is out. That 12 of Belmonte gets a pretty decent start there over that 32 Pawicki, and Richie Coy is going to follow him down on the bottom as they head off into one.
Yeah, having a little bit of a gap. Nice start there by the 12 of Belmonte. I'm not sure if the 32, if he was caught sleeping or just didn't get a great start, but he's powering back here on the high side. He's going to be on the outside of Richie Coy. Looking to see if he get that momentum to get to the lead spot there. He's got Wayne Grassi right behind him there.
A lot of side draft here, especially at Atlanta with this high side. If you can get a good partner, you have all the time in the world to make up a run. I was doing some side-by-side practice with Brody Hanna yesterday, just single 1 versus 1, and I was able to pass him entirely on the high side with enough side draft to make a move for the lead. So, we might definitely see that side draft come to effect here. But right now, early on, the inside looks like it's going to be kind of single filing out to start the race.
Yeah, I think everyone's just kind of taking it easy right now. Single file now. We got a couple still up on the high side. Andrew Palicki's starting that second spot. He's stuck up on the outside. It's going to be a while, probably until he gets down. But I don't know if he was looking to get down. He's trying to power back on the high side just by himself here. He's got two people coming up right behind him as well. So we're going to have a three-car pack here, as you see right there on our TV. They're going to suck right up to the back of him there. But so far, everyone's kind of keeping a single file.
And even though there's only 3 trucks on that top, don't be surprised if they can start making a run and trying to get up there to the leader with the 12 of Belmonte and the 19 of Richie Coy. You see the 32 making a decent run at it now, kind of in between the gaps of Richie Coy and Wayne Grassi there. And that 32 is going to get a great launch here off the exit of turn number 4, and it's going to bring him door to door with that 19.
Yeah, let's see where the 12 Belmonte does here. If he's going to stick on the low side and just try to run the low line here. If he's going to move up to the high side once they get some momentum. We see Brody Hanna. Looks like he's looking to the outside. They're trying to jump up there. That might not be Brody Hanna. I'll have to look back and see. I think that's right. Going to be right in front of Brody there. Maybe Nicholas Casey that was taking a look, I believe. But yeah, I want to see what Justin Belmonte does. See if he's going to keep it on the low side or if he's going to jump up high. Right now, it looks like he's just kind of keeping it on the low side and keeping that momentum down low.
Yeah, Brody Hanna right now, P10 all by himself. Really, he's got about a 3 truck length gap between him in front and behind. In front of him is Nicholas Casey at 86, just kind of playing the waiting game. But it looks like, Kenny, the 9th through 15th right now, they're all just kind of playing that waiting game. There's so many unknowns. They want to see if this front pack's going to wreck themselves. They're just kind of watching how things work. But right now, that 3-truck pack on the high side has gotten that 32, Andrew Palicki, to the race lead.
Yeah, and the 21 sitting there in that 3rd truck in that pack. You mentioned it. He got the pole, had to start in the back of the field, and he's already moved his way almost up to the front of the field again. I think he came across the line in 4th position that last time, and that high side just going. I think Richie Coy noticed that as well. He's going to jump up there, but that 21's going on the inside now. He's going to jump down to the bottom. Richie Coy's going to kind of be stuck out there on the high side now. He needs some drafting help to get back up there, but you also see the 32 of Andrew Palicki also moving down as well, taking the lead. So the 55 and the 19 stuck up on the high side.
Fast truck pulls down to the bottom, and then the high side just dissipates into nothing. They're almost to 55. He started in the back. He's already charged his way up 2/4 with that 21, so they're making some good moves here. But yeah, this track is full throttle. Though the high side, you have to put a little more wheel input. Oh, 55 and 85 get so close from wrecking each other right there. Keep it going straight as they continue on the backstretch. But yeah, you're full throttle around this track, but when you put a little more wheel input coming off these corners, it does scrub off a little bit of speed, which we don't really see that at the big boy track. So this is why the high side can be very dominating.
Yeah, we see a little bit further in the back there. Looks like there's some trucks kind of laying back even a little bit more than they were just a few laps ago, as you mentioned. We've got about 6 trucks back there. It's kind of spread out, distancing themselves from this first pack. So like you mentioned, a lot of unknowns here, trying to see what's going on. And you still got 55, Jeff Bratton. He's still trying to stick up there on the high side and see if he can do something by himself. But that low line's just kind of running by him right now. He could get down, it looks like, if he wanted to. But I think he's just kind of sticking it out on the high side right now.
Yeah, if he gets a little more aggressive and tries to run that side draft off like the 85 and the 7 here, that's just to his inside, he could potentially pass a few trucks, because there is a little bit of a checking up, because with any type of drafting there is going to be checkups mid-pack. So that 55 doesn't have to worry about that. And with these corner speeds being almost like a speedway is, it allows for some passing on that top side. And you're seeing 55 almost clearing the 85 here. If they come off of turn number 4, it's going to be really close. You see Chuck Sweeting up there, or back there rather, about 5 positions behind the 55. Maybe he's also making a good charge here by himself, and the 4, Bobby Trail, sees that. He also goes to the high side.
Yeah, I think it's early. You guys are trying to fill out where these trucks are going, where the run's going to be, what line to take, see if they can hold their own. We saw Richie Coy was sitting in about 4th or 5th place, made a move to the high side, and then everyone on the high side ducked to the inside, and he was stuck out the dry, and next thing you know, he's sitting back in 12th place. So just like that, you can go from top 5 to outside the top 10. So it's kind of nice to get that out of the way now, so you know for later if you're trying to make a pass for for these closing laps, if you want to risk it and go on the high side and have a chance of getting hung out the dry, or if you're going to go a little 85 there coming off of turn 2, a little bobble, as you mentioned, these tires are going to start wearing, and a little bit more input that you put on that wheel, you're going to start kicking sideways a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed that tire wear, and a lot of other people did too, around 20-25 into a run, and these guys can easily go past 40. So this back half of this run is going to be basically you're gonna see who's gonna shine with the setups early, and who figured it out early, and you're gonna see the people who are struggling. They're gonna get loose, and they're gonna try to figure out how to fix this thing for the second half of the race. But being only 12 laps in, they're still feeling fresh. They're feeling like superheroes. They're trying it. High side is back up and moving. The 21 of Langston leading the charge there with 55. Jeff Brayton right on his rear bumper, as he's now side by side for third place for the position over Wayne Grossi.
Yeah, big battle here. Oh, you see Justin Belmonte move up to the high side. Don't know if that was on purpose or not. He had a little, you could see the wheel turning a little bit, fighting it. And I'm not sure if he just got a wheel loose and then just happened to get lucky up there. But he looks like he wants to be on both lanes, top and bottom. But he's jumping to the high side, Jeremy. He's trying to take this lead back away from Andrew Kowicki, Justin Belmonte, that is. So we'll see with Jeff Bratton right behind him what they can do.
Belmonte saw that run and was like, you know what, that's a great idea. Moves to the top at the last second. Doesn't cause any issues, and now the number 12 is going to lead lap number 14. And in turn number 1 is 3 trucks lead the charge on the top side.
Yeah, we heard over the radio there. Looks like Brody Hannah's going to move up high as well. He's going to try get that high side momentum going from the back up there to the front. He's just outside the top 10 in 11th place right now, so plenty of time though. We're on lap 14 of 130. Plenty of time to go, but we see them side by side, 4 rows deep here. Your top 7, almost top 8 here, or all within just a couple car lengths of each other.
And it is a Super Speedway package, so these trucks are a little bit slower as far as the overall speed goes. So even though the banking's 4 degrees steeper, the lap times are actually almost identical to the old version of Atlanta. So I think it's maybe a half a second difference at most. So the racing is not going to really change as far as time-wise. You see the sun's starting to come out a little bit more here on the straightaway, which also should be heating up this track a little bit more as this run goes along. But the 3 trucks right now still in the top, the number 12 and 21. Oh, we actually got a little bit of 3 wide here as Langston goes to the middle, goes around Belmonte. This is the first time we've seen 3 wide and green flag racing. Let's see if they're able to hold that. It looks like the 12 backs out just a little bit. You can see 3 wide does work here, but it's a tight race when you do so.
Yeah, it definitely was a close call there. And I think last season the fastest was a 31.1 at Atlanta, and so far I think in practice they were running mid 30.6, 30.7. So yeah, just about half a second faster here. So not too much. I think the fastest time right now in the race is 30.7. So it's very close to being, like you mentioned, the same as the old Atlanta setup. But these guys are still 2x2. We saw that 3 wide attempt right there. And Andrew Kowicki, he's still enjoying this spot though. He's running the bottom, keeping that lead, trying to log as many laps wet as he can.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty fantastic job right now running that bottom and not being passed on the top side. When you got people like Wayne Grossi and Gilgock behind you, it makes your life just a little easier. But it looks like they got a little separated that time in 1 and 2, and it's going to allow that 12 and 21 with a huge run there off the exit of turn number 2. Temporarily brings that 21 of Jeff Langston to the lead.
Yeah, Jeff Langston's fighting back. He wanted to lead a lap since he couldn't start on the front with that EOL, and he's going to go ahead and take this one. And let's see if he nope, he's coming right on down. I was just about to say, let's see if he stays high, if he comes down low, and he brought it down low. Let's see if Johnson kind of fills in that spot, or if he's going to try to get back around him from the outside. He's trying to use that side draft a little bit there, going to run as they're coming off a 2. He's got the 55 right behind him, and Wayne Grossi as well. He can't decide if he wants to go high or low. He's going to tuck down low right in front of the 85 of Gil Gawk there, so that's going to be just 2 on the outside. And Justin's still trying to use that side draft, though. He wants to get around and get this lap, but the 21 of Jeff Langston's not giving it up.
Yeah, Mr. Belmonte there, and that 12 is looks like he's having a lot of fun out there. He's trying to find the fastest lane. It looks like he doesn't stay stationary long, so he sees a run, he goes for it, and he's continuing to be up there in the top 3. So it's working out right now for him. Only 2 trucks on that top side, but it only takes a couple trucks, and that top side can work pretty well if you use the side draft to your advantage. You're going to see him right now. The 21 slides up the track a little bit. It allows that 12 to go to great launch with a little bit of side draft help, and it's going to allow Belmonte to lead this lap.
Yeah, I want to see if we get any, team working together here. We got Brody and Richie in the back there. I believe they're just kind of hanging out right now, but they're walked up together. Looking at Nicholas Casey back there, he keeps on off the corner. You can see him kind of sticking his truck out there. He goes, looks to the high side, doesn't get the run, tucks back in, but he's trying to get up behind his teammate there of the 12 of Justin Belmonte and get up to the front. Every corner you can see him, he just drifts up, takes a look, doesn't go anywhere, kind of puts back into the inside and just keeps chugging along. And Bobby Terrell's been right behind him on that high side, so they're both kind of doing the same thing. One's looking high, one's kind of staying up there. So, but I expect Nicholas Casey to make his way up there with his teammate here, within the next 40 laps or so.
Yeah, some of these guys are kind of sucked in a little closer than what they were before, so maybe they're starting to feel a little comfortable now with how everything is on this new track. So yeah, I'm on your page there. I think these guys in your 6th, 7th, 8th place, like your Nicholas Casey and defending champion Bobby Terrell, who did say last week he's going to make every single race at this point. At least he's going to be trying. So he only missed one race so far. So he's trying to get some wins underneath his column. He might not be able to get to the points lead because he missed a race, but he's going to be trying his hardest to try to get as many points as possible.
Yeah, it's always nice to see a defending champion trying to defend it again next season. He tried to take a break, but he just can't get away. One of the trucks I've been looking at is the 85 still, Gil Gawk. He's been fighting that thing. That corner was a little better as he's coming off a 4 the last time. You could definitely tell that truck kicked out on him a little bit, and he's been fighting it about the last 10 laps. Every other lap or so, you can see him just kind of fighting it, have to get out of it and check up behind him. So, I don't know if those tires are starting to take away or if it's just still trying to adjust to this track, but he's definitely got his hands full with it tonight.
You're going to start to see these trucks starting to feel the tire wear a little bit here as we're now on lap 25 into this run. I've noticed the 21 of Jeff Langston can't hold the bottom as well as he could earlier. The truck looks a little loose entering turn number 1, which I felt the same exact thing last night. And if you notice the 21 off of the corners of 3 and 4, middle 3 and 4 is not perfectly smooth. There's a little bit of like a hiccup. You see him right there make a big hiccup there, hits the bottom of the track, hits it once more, able to keep it straight, but that's going to allow that number 12 and 55 to make a great run as they now charge to the lead. But that turn 3 and 4, Ken, as I was saying, it's not a perfectly rounded corner. There's some parts where it's a little straighter, then it curves a little bit more. So it looks like there's a little bit of an adjustment here that 21 needs to make, and that truck just doesn't look like he's going to hold the bottom. So the first time in a while, he's going to move to the top and see how this thing runs.
Yeah, you could hear kind of everyone backing out of it there. I was riding on board with Angel Blicky, and you could hear all the trucks around him kind of whipped out of the throttle a little bit, seeing what was going on there, but everyone's back into it now and kind of single file back out except for the 21 there for a second. He got back in line and still watching Nicholas Casey though, Jeremy. He's, ever so slightly just kicking out, looking around, and he's gained a couple spots there since we last talked about him. He's up in the 6th position now. So he's slowly trying to make his way up there, and he's just sitting right outside top 5, started in 11th position. Did make a qualifying run. Don't know if that was on purpose or if it was because he did have some packet loss, so he dropped out there during qualifying. So hopefully nothing like that happens during the race, but he is making his way up there. He's already gained 5 spots. And the big mover though, the 2 trucks at the front here, Jeff Bratton started 16th, is in 2nd, and Jeff Langston, of course, did get the pole, but had to start in the back, and those 2 make their way up. So so far those are your big movers, moving up 14 spots and 14 spots each actually.
These guys are really enjoying this new layout, at least the setups that they have found in a short amount of time they've had to research. They found something here, and it looks like early on it's working great for these guys. Top 6 running within 1 truck length of each other, then they're kind of a little spaced out. Gil Gawk is about 4 to 5 now behind that 86 and Nicholas Casey, and it's just all single file it out from everybody else. I'm surprised it's not been a little more racy than what we've seen it. Though the tire wear is finally starting to get here, so this is probably a little precursor as to maybe we're going to see some trucks kind of fall back because the grip levels just aren't there.
We see that 55 there, Jeff Bratton, he's wanting to get around Justin Belmonte for that first spot. He's all over that back bumper as they came across to start finish that last time by. He's able to get a great run coming off of 4, but right now I think he's just kind of settling. Nope, as I say that, there he kicks out to the high side. Doesn't have anyone going with him. Excuse me. So he's stuck out there on the high side by himself, just left out the dry.
Yeah, he made a good effort there, and it looks like if he can get down right to that door panel, that 12 of Belmonte, he can maybe keep that 2nd and 3rd place going alive. But He's doing the knowledgeable thing, doing the respectful thing, and kind of keeping it within a truck length apart because, as we know, iRacing has net code, and why risk it? 31 laps in into 130. That means we're at 100 laps to go. You're on board with that 55 right now, taking a look to his inside, that 32. All-American dressed up, Andrew Palicki. And then just behind him, that number 7, you can't miss him. Bright yellow Pennzoil Chevrolet, Mr. Wayne Grossi. But by himself right now, still able to hold the top 4 to 5. But Bobby Trill coming in here real quick.
Yeah, it's a good thing Bobby's coming up because he's holding up, but he is dropping. I mean, he's sitting there about to go. Nicholas Casey right there is running in 6th place, so good thing Bobby's kind of closing that gap right now. Bobby needs to get a little bit closer to him, though, to help out, but he's not losing too much. He was kind of dropping back pretty quick there, but with those gap, I believe looks like Chuck Sweeting there in the back of that pack of the top side there as well that's coming up, so we're going to have a couple more of them there. We're going to have 3 at least on the top side here get together, and these teams starting to close that gap, but Justin Belmonte is still sitting here nice and pretty out front, but that 55 is going to make his way back up here shortly.
Minus the restart, or the main start rather. This is the first time we've seen that 75 of Chuck Sweeting go side 21. By side. Oh, the 21 once again gets loose. It caused the 32 to have a huge checkup as well. He almost spun it, keeps it going straight. They're 3 wide down the front stretch, and that 21 is not advancing position, so he is allowed to be down there below the double white line because he is losing spots, not gaining any. And he almost made contact with the 7 as he came back up the track. He's now up to speed, but the 12 also with the problem. Huge check up here by the 12. It's going to allow that 55 of Jeff Brayton to take the lead here just into turn number 3. He's got 2 friends behind him at 4 and the 32 that should shoot this 55 up to the lead as he come to the start-finish line.
Yeah, 12 still fighting back, though. He's not trying to give up that spot just yet. He might still take it as it come across the line, and he will. Justin will still get that lap, but yeah, I'm not sure if Justin was doing a little mirror driving or what. I wouldn't blame him. He looks up in the mirror and doesn't see any trucks behind him anymore, and he kind of drifted up a little bit there, and the 55 had a great run, and you see Justin, he's kind of going up to the high side to block that run, going back down to the low side to get the momentum back up to him, so working this draft as best as he can, and so far it's working out for him. He's been maintaining this front spot for quite some laps now.
Yeah, the truck seems bad fast. No matter what lane he's putting it in, it seems to work just fine for him. I said earlier, he looked like he's having fun trying to switch up lanes to keep it in the top 3, and he's done so this entire race once he got there. So, and that was virtue of Mr. Langston kind of half a drop to the back, but did not take him that 21 long. He's still in 2nd place behind that 12 of Belmonte.
Yeah, great run so far by these guys. Haven't had a caution yet. I mean, they kind of doing a little single file, and then we're getting a little double here, and then of course that 3 wide that we had there kind of scared everyone for a second, but so far so clean. Lap 37 of 130. Just typical FTS form here. No cautions. Great green flag runs. That's just what they do over here. As we like to mention, it's a great group of guys and great performance that they put on every week.
Yeah, so essentially shout out to FTSR to kind of dovetail off of that. If you're looking to be a part of this action you're seeing right now, no cautions through 37 laps so far of 130. FTSR is the place to be if you're looking for a new home for all of your sim racing. These guys will take good care of you. So FTSR.net, Mondays and Wednesdays, of course, broadcasted by us, paid entry. Or if you want to run for free, you got Thursdays and Saturdays with ARCA, and then their combination of Lotus 79 and Pro 4 trucks, and they're having a blast doing each of those series as well. Once again, FTSR.net. I like to comment too on this racing. It's essentially a super speedway. As you see some drafting and whatnot, but they're also racing it like it's still a 1.5 mile cookie cutter. You're seeing people run high, you see people run in the middle, and that's not just because that's where the line's at. It's more so where the truck's comfortable. You don't see that too much in a super speedway style, so it's got a great mixture, and this is why I've really enjoyed this track so far.
Yeah, it's been a great run so far for all these guys out here, and that 55 still trying. Jeff Bratton's trying to get up there back to the high side. Just can't get enough trucks up on the outside. I think if they get about 4 or 5 trucks out there, that high side will get the rolling. And I'm sure we'll see it late. We're still 90 laps to go, so there's still plenty of time. And eventually I think we'll see that high side start gaining a little bit more trucks and more momentum, and that'll be the preferred line, I believe, towards the end of this race. But we'll see how it pans out. That 21, he's one to keep an eye on, Jeremy. He's been strong all night. You can see him looking high, looking low. He's wanting to get up there. He's been pushing it 3 wide. He's been making the moves. Has gotten loose a couple times off the corners. But if we can keep it straight and not have any issues, he's one to keep an eye out towards the end.
Yeah, these ass ends of this trucks are getting pretty light as the fuel starts to, become next to none here as we're 41 laps into this run. If that 55, watch him here as he exits turn number 2. He's going to get a great launch with a little bit of side draft help off the exit here. Even though there's only 2 trucks on that top side, they are equaling the speed of 5 trucks on the bottom and even beats the 21 into turn number 3. So if he could just utilize that side draft a little bit more based off yesterday's practice and what I've seen so far in this race, you can make it happen on the top. There's no question. It's just he's being very, very polite there, being a truck length and a half on the outside, separating him from the guy behind or below him, which is at 21 of Langston. But you see now 3 trucks now on the top, and that 55 is going to get a great launch here right over the 12. It's going to put him side by side for the race lead.
Yeah, 21 too. He's checked up big time. You can tell his truck is as loose as it can be right now. Going into the turns, either 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, loses a little bit as he's entering. As he's trying to hold on to that truck, but then gets a great run off the corner. But definitely fighting it, and he's having a hard time. I think you mentioned it about 10 laps ago or so, but him trying to keep it down the bottom, it's just been a handful for him tonight, and he'll drift up ever so slightly. We had a great corner there, but that truck's fighting him right now.
Yeah, I would almost imagine he needs to find himself on the top side if he can. I don't know how much laps they have left in the tank before they have to come down for pit road, but if you have like 10 laps plus left, you might want to try to venture to the top side. You're still only not even halfway through this race yet, so why not practice? Find where that truck's the most comfortable so you can set yourself up for the second half of this race. But pretty good racing still so far as the top 6 or 7 side by side, all with each other. That 12 as well, Ken, having troubles off of turn number 2. It's on that 55 of Brayton to make a great run and put himself into a good position for a chance at the lead.
Yeah, he was able to lead that last lap there. Barely got ahead of Justin as they came across the line there, and he might be able to do it this time as well. This is, Atlanta always puts off a great finish. Yeah, Justin was able to actually get by him even closer of a margin than it was the last time. I didn't think they could get even closer, but they did. They've always had great finishes here at Atlanta. I mean, you name it, it's been there multiple times, and I think this is going to set up for a good finish as long as we can have 2. And it sounds like the 11, Tony Solari, is coming down pit road. 23, Brody Han. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 19. Yep, there's the 19 on the radio. So if you're in motorsports, coming down pit road.
Here we go. First pit stop you're seeing live here with Richie Coy. I don't know if he made the speed in time. The speed limit, I think, is 45 miles an hour here, and he was, I think, at least 55 when he got to that line. We'll have to see what the iRacing officials have to say about that as they call it in. But yeah, Fury Motorsports coming down. First stops here at the new Atlanta configuration.
Yeah, I take a look here, and I think I was agreeing with you. It'll be pretty close to see there. You saw him. He was trying to walk. Ooh, Richie was coming in hot too. Ooh, all those guys are coming on pit road. And I know Richie was one that was practicing those pit stops right at the end of practice there. So we'll have to see where these guys pan out. But yeah, they were all coming in pretty quick there.
And they did tag him, the 19, Richie Coy, being held for his 42nd penalty in his pit stall. So he was snagged by the iRacing officials here. So this is going to put him a lap down. It's not as bad as a Super Speedway. You will lose time. It's about, I think, 3/4 of a second to a second a lap. But this is going to hurt. He's your points leader. He's 16 points ahead of Belmonte, and Belmonte right now is having one of the best races he's had all season long. So if they keep this up, this is going to really tighten up this point race.
Yeah, it's gonna. That's not what Richie wanted, and we haven't had any cautions, and we've been close a couple times, but we haven't had one yet. But Richie's yelling for one. He definitely wants to have one out there once everything cycles through. If he's the one that's one lap down, lucky dog for him. But that will definitely open up the points here. As far as where we're at now, we still got plenty of time left, and we'll see where this pans out with almost 80 laps to go still. But so far, the way it's looking, this could be big in the points. I think there was 16-point difference, and right now with all these laps that they're leading and everything, that could be the swing, and we might be going to the next race pretty even.
And I'm kind of surprised that they pitted so early compared to everybody else. No one else has dipped down pit road. So there's already a 3-lap difference between their strategy and everybody else's. I don't know what that strategy looks like I've said before, but I I also know that Fury Motorsports likes to pit early at super speedways. And as I said, that 21 is calling out pit entrance. He is your second place truck right now. Belmonte looks like he's possibly doing the same with the 32 Andrew Palicki. So pit road is about to get real busy here real quick.
Yeah, it's gonna. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Oh. Well, but Belmonte comes down. Casey coming down as well, and everyone's coming down quick. But I believe they were able to get down under speed and not catch any penalties. But the 86er of Nicholas Casey, he was coming in pretty hot like Richie Coy, and I thought they might snag him, but he was able to walk it down. So I think he's okay.
Yeah, they're all good. 6 trucks down pit road this time. Basically, all your leaders, Casey, Rupert, Kenneth Scholes, are in sim rig driver tonight. 32 of Palicki, 21 of Langston, and the 12 of Belmonte. All with pretty solid strategy, all to make a really clean pit stop. So as long as they get out of the pits, just clear it right behind them. Another 5 truck pack led by that 55 of Jeff Brayton. Number 4 of Bobby Terrell. I see in the 7, 33 of Sherwood Williford, and the 85 of Gil Goff, all down pit road right now.
Yeah, 75 Chuck Sweeting. He went around to get a lap, and now he's going to be coming down as well as we see the Fury Motorsports there go by on the high side. That's Tony Solari and Brody Hanna. They are missing Richie Coy after that speeding penalty. Let's see if Justin Belmonte is going to try and stay in front of these guys, and they're going to go right around him, and yeah, they're going to make a move to his outside. But of course, Justin Belmonte right at the back of his teammate there, Nicholas Casey. We knew those two would link up eventually, and here it is. So right after that first round of pit stops, they're nose to tail with each other, and I expect them to kind of make their way up to the front after everything cycles through.
Yeah, pretty decent battle there. You just were on board there with Kenneth Scholes, our driver tonight. You saw him exiting pit road and seeing what the track looks like from a driver's perspective coming back onto the track here at the new configuration at Atlanta. But he's got Kevin Rupert on his tail, passing the 55 and the 4 right now. You're going to have this nice little 5-truck pack kind of try to get back to the race leaders here. You guys need to go almost single file at this point. But yeah, about a 3 to 4 second gap separates the 2 packs right now. So this is kind of huge.
Yeah, and you got about a 5-truck pack there, one right behind him. I might suck up into that group. Everything else, you have a couple onesie twosies here. We've got the teammates, Fury Motorsports, KC Racing, grouped up as well. And then the 21, he's making his way up to the back of Justin Belmonte. We know he's been strong all night with Andrew Palicki. So those two are going to bunch up. So we're going to have about a 6-truck pack here. Actually, it's right here. We've got 6 trucks all together in this pack now.
21 of Langston decided to go high, so not exactly everyone going to go single file here. They're going to get a little racy with the 32 behind him of Andrew Palicki, trying to make some moves here in this pack right now. Kind of like the biggest pack right now. The guys behind him in that second pack.
Oh, hard in the
Chuck
wall.
Sweeting. Oh, who's that?
That is going to be, I believe, is that Palicki there? Or no, yeah, Andrew Palicki just hard into the outside wall. He said his headset went blank, so I'm not sure if something happened with his computer, but yeah, right in the tri-oval, just straight into the outside wall.
Oh, that's huge. I just moved my cameras to that second pack who was single file. Looks like they're making a good charge, and then bam, yeah, I went back and looked at it. You're going to see it on the nerd replay here. If you notice, that transition's pretty quick, and you're going to see exactly what happened on the track here. Palicki in that 32, yeah, just lost connection to that headset just for a moment. And what happened with that, with your VR, you go black. There's nothing about it, so you don't know what's going on. And you see the 32. He made a really strong move to the bottom as soon as he hit that wall, because he knew he was basically done at that point. So the driver's instinct is to turn left, get this truck off the surface until he gets things figured out. But this is going to be a quite lengthy repair for that 32 as you see him in pit road right now. Huge implications because this truck was bad fast.
Yeah, you hate to see it. He was having a great run, top 5 all night, qualified second, was in that top pack there, actually jumping up to the high side, the battle for the lead there, and then just lost it. So that's unfortunate for him. That brings this pack back down to 5, and I know you were saying you're surprised that these Fury Motorsports are pitting so early, but it's kind of working out in their favor right now. Brody Hanna, Tony Solari leading the way with Nicholas Casey and teammate Justin Belmonte right behind him with your pole sitter / EOL, recipient Jeff Langston right there in 5th. So this is your pack, but right behind them, Jeremy, you got 6 trucks as well. That's just about 2.5 seconds behind them. Bobby Terrell's leading the way in that pack. So if those guys can bunch back up, we're going to have about 11 truck pack here going again.
And if you notice as well, the 2 trucks that pitted first are the ones now leading 1 and 2. That kind of briefly tells you that tire strategy, it's a thing here, even though it's a super speedway style racing now. With the fresher tires, they're able to pass, 6 or 7 trucks easy to put themselves in a great position. The number 11, Tony Solari, back up front, who's got 2 wins this season, 1 on dirt, 1 on a road course. He did it back to back too. So he's looking to get a 3rd win in this season for 2022B.
Yeah, why not? Keep it rolling. I think that'd be leading the way. So right now looking good, but I mean, we got a long race to go. We're almost to halfway, or 5 laps away from halfway. And these guys are breathing back behind him. We know Justin Belmonte's fast, Jeff Langston's fast. We haven't seen Nicholas Casey up to the front, but he's jumping up to the high side right now with Brody Hanna on his inside. He's got his teammate Justin Belmonte right behind him. It'll be interesting to see where that 21 truck goes, because we know he's got a fast truck as well. So if he jumps up to that outside, I expect that outside to kind of train this Fury Motorsports.
I'll make a quick correction there too. Tony's only got 1 win in the truck series. I do believe he has. Actually, he's only got 1 listed. I thought he had 2, so it looks like he's only 1, at least on the official charts there. So he's looking for actually win number 2 of 2022 here. He's got a good chance. He's putting up there himself with Brody Hanna. I know they don't have Richie Coy anymore because of that pit penalty, but it doesn't mean he can still get the job done. And right now that 11 and the 23 are controlling the bottom quite well, but that number 86, Nicholas Casey, he's found himself temporarily as your new race leader.
And I don't want to jump around on you, but you had it right the first time. He's got 2 races won this year. He won Sonoma, race 3, and then he won Knoxville, race 4. So you had it right. He's got 2 wins on the season. Him and his teammate Richie Coy both are tied with 2 wins. Nicholas Casey with 1 and Bobby Trell with the other 1. So he's trying to make it first to 3 wins. He's sitting 8th in points right now, 49 points back of the points leader, his teammate Richie Coy. So this would definitely help, but he's going to have some trouble here. Jeremy's got the 86 of Nicholas Casey, the 12 Justin Belmonte, and then we see that, he's cutting up close. That was really close on that one. Other pack there has bunched up, so now we got 11 trucks here in this main pack.
Even with the points completely spread out and everything, I still read the wrong column, so that is correct. 1 pole, 2 wins. I thought it was 2 wins, but when I read the chart, I'm like, you know what, maybe I'm wrong. So, but it is 2 wins, and this race lead is heated up. They are 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 4 rows deep, top 8, all within 1 blanket, and then Kenneth Scholes, 9th place, Kevin Rupert in 10th, 11th place, and lurking there, the 33 of Williford. Pretty dicey racing going on right now for the race lead.
Yeah, it's a pretty good battle up here. I mean, we're side by side, and Brody Hanna going a little low there. I was able to check up there, and that let Tony kind of get a truck length ahead, but these guys are going to get a run back up on him. You see Nicholas Casey here on the outside trying to get that great run. They got 4 trucks out there on that top side now. Bobby Terrell sitting back there as well, trying to decide which way he wants to go, if he wants to go higher, if he wants to go low. But Nicholas Casey, Justin Belmonte, those 2 are hooking up, and they're pushing.
Yeah, so a pretty good race lead going on right now. They're not giving it up. Each of them want to lead as many laps as possible as they're coming up on that 19. Will he play a factor on this bottom lane? Even though he's not in for the lead contention, he's got his teammates there on the bottom, and he might want to help out. The 23, Brody Hanna, pretty loose there in the middle 1 and 2. Still loose on the exit of turn number 2. It's going to really space him out over his teammate, that number 11, Tony Solari, as they now get sucked back in together. But temporarily, it's going to allow that 86 to get a great run here. Entering turn number 3, and it's going to set himself up for a good launch off of 4.
Yeah, it's great run there as they're coming off of 4. But this high side now, they're starting to get numbers up there. There's 4 trucks, and you see them just slowly edging their way. I'm surprised to see the 86 actually jump down to the inside there. We see the 7 up in the wall as well. Got a little bit of damage. He's going to fall back to the back of the pack, but he should be able to hold on. But yeah, I was surprised to see the 86 jump down and left his teammate of the 12, Justin Belmonte, up on the high side there.
Great call to watch this 91, as we're on board with him. currently sitting in 8th place. Wayne Grossi got really loose on the entrance of one, slid up the track, hit the outside wall, and that's why he had to fall back the way he did. These trucks can rebound. You know, this being kind of like a Speedway-esque style race, I was able to gain by myself 2.5 seconds over 3 guys drafting each other because they were passing and being side by side. So he's not out of it just yet, but this is a great view of all these leaders in front of him in this 91. You can see exactly how dicey this track is going to get for someone's view, like the 91 here. He's kind of just laying back, lets the 19 zoom past. You know he's going to try to get up there and help his teammates as quick as possible. But yeah, a lot of concentration there from that 91 Kenneth Schultz as they are now on lap number 70.
Yeah, concentration is key on this one. We're in lap 69, 130, so we're over halfway. We're on the back half of this now, and we only have you have, of course, Angel Kowicki had that hard hit, unfortunately. Wayne Allen did not make the start, and then Rich Coy with that penalty. Those are the only ones that are lapped down, and then you have the 2 teammates of Gil Gawk and Chuck Sweeting. I'm not sure if they had a little mishap there on their pit road or what the case was with that one, but they're sitting 19 seconds back. But everyone else that's on the field, your top 11 right now in this top pack, and they're jumping around for position, going from 11th to 1st to 11th, so they're all over the place. Yeah, we see right here the 2 teammates here, Gil Gawk and Chuck Sweeting, here on their TV.
I know we got lots of action on the track, and it will be continuing all the way through the rest of the race, but we do have to get our visual thank you to our sponsors out there. So we're going to go side by side for just a few short moments, thank those guys, and we'll be right back to watch the end of this race.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
guys, welcome back to the full screen action for the Nerd TV broadcast of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series. Not much has changed, just a lot of good hard racing here for the top 6 or 7 or so. Still here at this newly reconfigured Atlanta Super Speedway. The 86 Nicholas Casey is leading your point right now on the bottom. Tony Solari still making a dominant back half run here in second place. 12 Belmonte still finding himself in 3rd/4th. That's if the 21 of Jeff Langston. Figure out how this top side works here with Jeff Braid behind him, which we don't see him out there too often. But right now, that 55 Kenny has got a really fast truck right now, for this for Atlanta Speedway.
Yeah, the 21 and the 55, they've been hooked up the majority of this race ever since the drop of the green flag. As we mentioned earlier, they started in the back of the pack and moved their way up real quick. As we see the 11 going around, I was watching Tony, seeing his wheel going back and forth, but it sounds like the Justin there got into the back of him. As we see the 21 going around now.
No.
But they're still holding on to it. He's got the 7 coming down. Everyone's trying to cause a caution, but it's just not coming out. Wow, what a change up of circumstances there.
We're trying to give Jeff at iRacing iFlag a show here, and we can't even display his product because these guys don't want to wreck. Multiple wrecks happen and no caution. You see right there on your screen the 21 and the 19 get together after they kind of listening in on what happened with number 11 and 12 as they made contact entering 1. And then Wayne Grassi as well decided to get loose in 1 and 2. So 3 or 4 wrecks that could have happened. You see the 11 right there cut down to the apron and into the grass. And I think he hit that cone a little bit on the inside, so that might have proposed a penalty of some kind. But that was huge. You see 11 down pit road right now. I think he did get a penalty for an unsafe pit road entrance, technically, even though it was the back half. So that's going to hurt that 11 a lot. But a lot of wrecks there without any caution.
That went from bad to worse. They just barely nipped the cone there, and they caught him. And, man, going from leading the race to going to be multiple laps down with his teammate Richie Coy. That's unfortunate for Tony there. Once he got in the grass, we knew he was okay. He can wheel it through the dirt and the grass, but that cone unfortunately just got him. Ooh, we see the 86 going a little bit. I'm not sure if the 12 got into the back of him there, or if he just got a little loose there, off the exit of 4 there. But he definitely caught that thing, pushed up to the high side. And that's going to put his teammate, the 12 of Belmonte, back to the lead. 55 of Jeff Bratton going to be sitting there in 2nd place. Yeah, no, he just went ahead and just lost it up there a little bit. So these trucks are a handful right now.
What amazing driving by Nicholas Casey right there to get loose, snappy as it was, shoots way up the track and avoids the outside wall, and now he's still fighting there inside 3rd place. So what a great heads up driving there by Nicholas Casey to realize the truck's getting loose, turn it away from the wall as quick as possible. Did not touch anything, so he's still running the truck perfectly clean. They're single filed out now for basically the whole entire field after those crazy amount of potential wrecks that were going to happen and it never actually did. The guys got to figure it out. Now they're got to get regrouped up and see if they can get back to side-by-side racing for the race lead.
Yeah, regrouped up, lost a little bit in that pack, so pack's a little smaller. But one of the big top speed that we were seeing was Jeff Langston. And he was the one that was pretty much completely sideways and was able to get turned back around. But he's now sitting in 10th place, all by his lonesome. Doesn't have any help out there at all. Caution is out now, though, so we do have a caution out after all that. But that's how we got one coming out.
85 Gil Gawk in turn number 3 and 4 with Chuck Sweeting. It looks like 85 gets loose in front of his teammate there. Both Gator Racing Chevrolets. Got loose in front of the 75. 75 did not check up in time. It spins him around. Very minimal contact to the outside wall for that 85, so I think he's going to be okay. Just got to get some 4 fresh Goodyears. But after, like you said, after all that craziness, it takes that little incident right there to bring out the first caution and over a race and a half.
Yeah, it was, well, he was going backwards on the track, so I guess I could see that. But was able to keep it off the wall. Nice. Yeah, after all that though, that's the one that brings it out. So it was bound to happen, sooner or later. And I think we're going to be coming around to our last set of pit stops here. So these are going to be key pit stops. You're going to have the 12 with Justin Belmonte leading everyone down pit road. Everyone's going to keep it nice and smooth. Don't want to get caught for speeding or anything like that. And Yeah, I know what Nicholas Casey wants to do. He wants to get around that 55. Actually, he might not though if he starts right behind his teammate if he comes off third. So we'll see. We'll see where it plays out.
I expect a lot of 4 tires here just because how the track works and tire wear is a thing here. We'll see exactly what the strategy plays out. And speaking of playing out, the 19 Richie Coy will be your hashtag Get a Grip Art and Sports Lucky Dog Driver Award recipient. As he was 2 laps down, so he's going to take 1 back. He should be 1 lap down when the green flag does come out. So if he can pick up another quick caution, we're probably going to see that 19 back in this thing, Ken.
Yeah, the 86 off of pit road was able to get that second place over the 55 there. Beat Jeff off pit road, so you're going to have the 2 teammates starting up on the front. I was wondering if he was going to beat him off pit road, but then I started thinking, well, maybe he wants to be behind his teammate. But nope, Nicholas wants to be out there right beside his teammate and have a battle for the lead here. So going to have Justin starting out first with Nicholas second and Jeff third. And I believe, I think it's going to be Bobby Terrell, then Kenneth Schultz round out the top 5. Or Wayne Grossi, sorry.
Yeah, as these guys get cycled back through here and get behind the pace truck, I did mention in the right before the race, I wanted to try to bring in our guy to talk to, see if we can get a word with him. Let's gotta make sure, yeah, caution's still gonna be another lap or so. So I'm gonna try to bring in our number 91 Kenneth Scholes in Simrig driver tonight, just because we have time to do so.
I just took my good
Get a word with Ken Scholes. This is Jeremy in the Nerd TV booth. You got a copy?
Hi, gotcha.
Hey man, sorry, I was just wanted to bring you in before this thing goes back to green flag. We tried getting you last week, but you guys don't like to cause caution, so figured why not take the time before we go back to green. But overall take on the track tonight?
It's different. I'm enjoying it. It drives like a super speedway, that's for sure. You got to be a little careful. And Kevin has been kind of laying back, and we're going to lay back here for a little bit and wait for the big one to happen, and then we're gonna jump hard the last couple laps here, I think. So. But we got what? We got 40 to go. We got a long run to go yet, but we're gonna take her easy and let things play out, and then charge hard the last 15 laps or so.
All right, man. Yeah, well, good luck to you. Got a half a lap left before we go back to green, so I'm gonna bring you back down. But good luck out there, and hopefully your strategy plays out.
Hey, thank you much. Appreciate you guys doing this, and hello to all the people out there watching.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. All right, that was Kenneth Scholes, the driver of the 91 of your sim racing points in sim rig driver. He's got his strategy planned out with Kevin. He said he's going to be laying back a little bit more. With 40 laps left, you still have plenty of time, and I think this does close any type of green flag pit stops that were going to happen. So it's going to be, here to the checkers without another pit stop unless there is another caution. We'll have to see if tire strategy is a thing. Number 12, Belmonte is going to be taking the green flag as your race leader. Nicholas Casey in that 86 to his high side. Breton in that 55, going to be restarting in third. And last season's champion, Bobby Terrell, going to be starting on his outside in fourth place. Green flag is out, 12 with a great start there. Nicholas Casey, and him and the 12 taking about a triple length advantage over the guys behind them as they head off from turn number 1.
Yeah, it's going to be Joseph Belmonte still leading the way, but Nicholas Casey's teammate doesn't want to get too far away from him. He's going to get that high side momentum here coming off of 2, I believe, with Bobby Terrell pushing right behind him. Another one I want to keep my eye on, Jeremy, too, is the 21 there, Jeff Langston. We know how he's got a fast truck and starting in the back on this restart. He had that little bit of damage. Oh, sounds like Jeff actually is going to have a black flag. He's going to be coming down pit road, so we're not going to be seeing much of him make his way through the field, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where that black flag came from. I think he was supposed to start behind the number 1 there of Kevin Rupert, and he definitely beat him to the line. Though I don't think iRacing, cares if you're 10th or 11th place, and passing people in the guy or the position below you. But apparently, they snagged him for us. That 21 is serving his black flag. That's going to take him out of the contention for the lead and for the win if there's not another caution tonight. So that's huge implications for that truck. He was so fast. So that's a huge shame to see that happen to him.
Yeah, a lot of trucks that are fast tonight are having some trouble before we can even get to under 30 laps to go. And it looks like the 33 there, Sherwood, got a little loose coming off of turn 2 last lap and had to duck down on the apron and let everyone go by him, which is a smart move on his part. Don't want to cause a wreck trying to get back in line, so he just ducked in, let everyone go by. And he's going to try to make his way up through the field again. But we got the 55 here. Jeremy's going by. trying to get by out the 12 here, Justin Belmonte on the inside with the 7 right behind him. Wayne and then Brody's pushing the 7, so we've got a nice little grouping here on the bottom. It's 55, pushes up just a little bit there. Almost got into the side of Nicholas Casey there.
I could not tell if they made contact. There was not enough space for me to tell at all. I don't see any damage to 86 there, as we get a great shot on his inside panel. So I think he's going to be okay, but 2 by 2 by 2 for the first 4 rows in this thing, and even behind them still 2 by 2. So everyone double filed up here. The 21 of Langston uses all that apron space to let these leaders go by. Enough in turn number 1. Let's see how that grip level hangs on there at the bottom. The 21 able to keep it down below the double white line. Glad to see that. But this race lead, though, is pretty intense right now.
Yeah, side by side, haven't seen really much of an advantage from one to another. The 12 on that outside might have a little bit as they're heading into the corner, but right now the 55, though, he's getting a great run off, coming right up to the side of Justin Belmonte. Again, couldn't tell if they were going to touch or not, but they were able to hold on to it, and Justin's still able to take that lap. But 55 still showing strong speed here late. We mentioned he started, last place on the field, and he's been running top 3, I'd say, pretty much the whole race.
Yeah, he's kept that truck up there for the most part and doing a great job doing so. Still holding 3rd place over that number 4, Bobby Terrell, who's just to his outside right rear quarter panel. That number 12, though, has great company with the 86 and the 4 directly behind him, giving him a good, strong run here down the straightaway. Not that the 55 doesn't have great partners in that number 7 with Wayne Grossi and the 23 of Brody Hanna, but throughout this entire season, the 86 and 4 have just been a little bit faster, and they know how to get around these super speedways here in Atlanta. They seem to excel here, so it doesn't surprise me that the 12 is able to hold right now on the top side as they head into exit turn number 4 to end lap number 96.
Yeah, and I got the 7 there. I thought the 7 was going to make a move, but decided to tuck back in line, and good side-by-side racing. I mean, all the way back through your 10th place right here is just too wide, and even these guys that are lapped down of Gil Goff, Richie Coy, Tony Sawari, Jeff Langston, they're all sitting there running side-by-side as well. So, I think right in the back right there, we got Kevin Rupert, who's kind of just hanging out. As Kenneth Schultz mentioned, he's going to sit and see what happens here. So he's just kind of laying back. But, nice little battle here, though, for the top spot. And everyone's battling for position and just gaining one spot at a time if they can. And I'm waiting to see if anyone from that top side jumps down to the bottom side. And Justin kind of looks like he's going to do it. But if anyone does it, I'd say it's probably 3rd and around Bobby Terrell that might make moves to the inside.
This view off the roof angle right now, the 12 of Belmonte is the best view in the house, especially if you're in that number 12. Leading this thing, running the top side and doing it so really well. Just Wayne Grossi does not seem like he can suck up to the back of that 55, and it's allowing this high side to really just move along here, keeping that number 12 of Belmonte into the race lead. But Brett makes a great move to the bottom here. Let's see if he can actually get a good run. But once again, that number 7 just can't get close enough, and it's going to allow that 12 to make a great launch off of turn number 2.
Yeah, needs to close it up just a little bit so they can get a great momentum push. You can see the 12 and the 86 just get a great run off the corner now. It's a little bit reversed as it was a few laps ago. Now that they're getting a great run off the corner and the 55 is getting a good run in, but they just got that momentum on the high side. And you see the 55, he's getting close, and I'm not sure if he's trying to side draft or if he's just fighting that thing. It looks like he might be fighting it a little bit there in the corner. But he's just drifting up ever so slightly. He could be just getting a little bit of draft on him, but I'm sure being this close too and the speeds that they're at, he might be fighting the wheel a little bit.
Yeah, probably both. Trying to maximize the speed efforts at the same time. The truck might be feeling a little loose as it gets kind of closer to the 12 door panel as they are neck and neck here coming to the line. So bringing them to 30 laps remaining here in the Atlanta 200.
30 laps to go. A lot of time left still. A lot of positions to be changed around. Justin Belmonte, though, he's still leading the way. He's putting on another dominating performance. He's been putting on quite a performance this year. Just hasn't been able to seal the deal. So we had a lot of laps, but just hasn't been able to finish it off. Good podium finishes, but he's still looking for that top spot, and he's battling out right now with 55. And Nicholas Casey, he's all over the back bumper. Now we know these guys are teammates, so I don't expect there to be any intentional contact, but he's all over that back bumper. All it takes is one little mishap, like we saw the 86 do, and the 12 was all over. It'll be the opposite. Something happens with the 12, and 86 is going to be all over him.
We're going to solve team issues with the 85 and 75 that brought out our lonesome caution this evening about 15, 20 laps ago. So, I mean, we've seen team incidences already, and when you're getting dicey here toward the end of this race, you want to help your teammate the best as you can possible, and sometimes you go over that edge. I know Nicholas Casey's got full control of that truck, so I don't expect anything of that nature to happen, but as you know with Super Speedway racing, things are just bound to happen.
Yeah, you don't plan on anything like that happening, but this Super Speedway, one little checkup, one little wiggle, and it's mayhem. So, and especially if it's in the front of the field, there's a lot of trucks that are still left to come through it. So we saw in practice what happened when, the leading trucks in the pack hit the wall, especially right here in the tri-oval, and it's just a domino effect from there. Hopefully we don't see that, though. As you mentioned, we got 26 laps to go. We're starting to get down to the bottom here, but Justin's controlling this race the way that he wants to. He's on the bottom, he's on the high side. Wherever he's at, he's keeping that truck out front, and he's even been doing a little bit of runs there with the 55, and I think he's trying to set up to see where the best run that he can have, and we can go to a blinking there from the 7 of Wayne Grossi, but he's back. But I believe he's kind of checking it out and see where he needs to make his run as they're coming down to the last couple laps here, see what he needs to do.
You see the battle for first right there in your bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and it is Super Speedway, so expect those numbers to be all bunched up here. It just shows you how close they are from one another. And that number 7 of Wayne Grossi is definitely the factor right now. That 12 is in full control, but at the same time, that 7 just can't get to the back bumper of the 55, at least not for the majority of the lap. So it's allowing that 12 to kind of play its little safe here on the top, controlling that high lane. And when the 55 of Jeff comes up, he knows it's not going to be too strong of a run. So he's continuing to run that upper half of the track as we got 25 laps to go. If that 7 can close in somehow, as he gets really close to the door of the number 4 there, Bobby Tro almost makes some contact. But if that 7 can get a little closer to that 55, might have a different story. But right now, the 12 just knows that speed's on the top, and that's where he's going to remain.
You see the 86 there still taking a look. They only got 4 trucks there on that outside, so that bottom side where everyone wants to be right now. And the 12's still holding strong, though. Him and Nicholas Casey still holding out there on that top side with Bobby Terrell. He's been with them the whole time. Bobby Terrell, really, I don't think he's been on the bottom side this whole race. We've seen him on the top side, even when he was by himself with that pack in front of him. He was, keeping that draft up with him on the bottom, but he was keeping up on the high side. So we know where he likes to keep his truck, and I think that's where he's going to be, thick and thin. Where this thing ends is he's going to be stuck on that high side. But just with those 4 trucks, they're still holding up with everyone else on the bottom.
I think what this bottom lane needs to do is move up a half a lane to try to pick up a little more side draft, especially in the front quad oval section of this track. I think that's where we're losing a lot of time here. They're pretty all right down this back stretch. A little bit more speed on the top, not by much, but I feel like the top side here, on the front stretch side, is definitely a factor. So if they can just move the trucks up a half a lane or so, even a full lane, to pick up some side draft off of Belmonte and Casey, I think they might put themselves in a little bit better position as these laps wind down with 21 to go.
Yeah, but the only thing that comes with that too is you're gonna have some wear on those tires, and they came down with about 40 laps left, so you'll have to start taking that in consideration too, as far as how close you want to get some of that side draft, depending on how this tire wear is taking effect. We haven't really seen anyone fighting the truck as far as with the tire wear, but we are almost to a 20 laps in this run, so could be seeing that here shortly. But so far everyone's been kind of pretty smooth with it. You got a little bit of jostling around going, but that's just typical plate racing style. But haven't seen a handful yet with these tires wearing off.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of difference maybe on the top side, but right now you were correct. It's just Super Speedway style at this point. Haven't seen any real shifts in position. Haven't seen a lot of movement per se as far as the truck getting loose or any handling issues. It's more so just kind of fighting to stay behind the next guy. You see Wayne Grossi, another truck length and a half separates him in that 55. Definitely allowing that upper lane to keep that momentum rolling still here. As they're just now at 20 laps to go. Starting to see a little bit more on the high side. Can you see the 85 and the 33 getting a little bit closer here to try to make this 3 truck lane here on the top. A 5 truck lane is kind of glad to see that 85 not have any issues after that spin with his teammate earlier. He's still trucking along here just outside the top 10.
The one truck that seems to be the fastest right now is that 86. He looks like he's able to just push truck where he wants it. Closes up on the 12 pretty quick. I'm sure the 12's having a little bit of issues there with the tire wear. He's probably checking up a little bit, but if I was Justin, I'd be trying to keep my teammate behind me as much as possible and just kind of keep where we're at on this high side and keep him back there, because I think if Nicholas gets out into the front again, unless he has a little mishap, he might not give it up. So if I was Justin, I would be just staying up on that high side, and if the 55 is going to make a run on me, he's going to have to do it on the bottom.
Look at that truck control there from Casey's. He is eating that back bumper for dinner right now, helping that 12 stay up front as best as possible. And this is the 55's best chance. He's actually got the lead temporarily, headed down the backstretch into turn number 3. So this inside line is starting to pick up some steam. And the 12 heading to the wall, hits the number 4, heading to the wall as well. 4 trucks in the wall. One spins out Kevin Rupert. 19, Richie Coy. Oh, huge. And even our race ensign rig driver, 91, Kenneth Scholes, got some late impact there. Second caution this evening.
Yeah, it's just a domino effect. It looks like the 55 kind of washed up just a touch, got into the 12. Not sure if it was net code or contact, but that put the 12 in the wall, and then it was just a domino effect after that. And yeah, even behind right here, you see the one got ran into by the back of Gil Gawk. Gil Gawk hits the wall. I think we saw the 12 hit the 19. The 91 came in there. That 33, it was just a domino effect and took out quite a few trucks. A little bit of damage on some, a little bit more on others.
And it looks like even further in the back there, 85 Gil Gawk slowed up, knowing there's going to be a wreck. That was pretty big. And then, or the number 1 Kevin Rupert did, I'm sorry. And then Gil Gawk misjudged it and hit him in the back, so it even caused some wrecks further in the back, part of that domino effect you mentioned. And you see Kenneth Scholes right there. He did everything correct until that truck, Belmonte, slid right back in front of him. And the 91 had nowhere to go, and he suffered quite a bit of damage to the nose of that 91.
The 91 and the 1 played it smart. They said they were going to sit back and wait for the big one to happen, and they did, but unfortunately they got into it a little late on. The 1, not really his fault. The 85 Gil Gawk was getting the back on him. I don't think Gil was expecting that much of a checkup there, but yeah, the 91 Kenneth Schultz, he barely got into it. I don't think he's going to have much damage. He'll get that repaired. As we see the 86 Nicholas Casey going through the grass, was able to save it. But most of these trucks, I feel like they can get their damage fixed.
I think all but 4 trucks got involved in that wreck as far as their race leaders go. 55 Bratton, number 7 Grassi. I think the 21 of Langston avoided stuff, and then the 23 of Brody Hanna. Those 4 trucks are the only ones really avoiding the wreck. Everybody else had some sort of damage. So this is going to be more of a race of who can get their truck repaired, and this might be also a battle of the trucks who have not had any damage versus the trucks who do have damage at this point. That definitely shook up the field quite a bit. As you see now, you see another wreck here, the 19 this time. He's a 1 lap down. He wasn't in contention for that lucky dog if he would have avoided that and been back on the lead lap, but he got collected there, and looks like the right rear quarter panel sent him spinning. So that's going to take him out of that lucky dog contention, which is unfortunate because he was really hoping to be in that position.
Yeah, I believe Gil and Richie both are going to be taken out of that one. I'm still trying to keep an eye on it and see who can move into it. I don't know if it's going to be Jeff Langston or if I don't think Tony's going to be. Tony's dropping to the back, so either we didn't get the lucky dog recipient that last time. I think everyone might have been into the wreck where no one got it, because I'm not seeing anyone go around and collect it.
It looks like it was the 21 of Langston. He did avoid that wreck. He was one of 4 trucks who avoided it, so the 21 did take his lap around. So he's going to be your hashtag Get a Grip Martin Sports Lucky Dog Award recipient here. So go get yourself a lap, man. And I think this is going to put him only 1 lap down. We'll have to find out for sure once it all cycles through. But if there's one more caution, it helps him, get in position for that chance to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to decide. I think he was already 1 lap down. That's why I was wondering if he got it or not. But you said he went around, so he must have been 2 laps down then on that one.
Yeah, I definitely saw him go around for his lap. So once they go green flag, yeah, I think it's going to be 1 lap down. I think that's what the official scoring is. But we'll have to find out once they do cross that line. It'll tell us for sure. Pace car is about to dip down. We're about to get this thing back underway. Currently going to have 14 laps to go once these guys take the the green flag here. Moves Nicholas Casey to P1. Wayne Garassi, can he run the lane? He had troubles getting to the back bumper of the 55. Can he run it up top? We're about to find out here. Brody Hanna behind that 86. You know he's a good pusher. And Chuck Sweeting somehow finds his way into position here. He's going to be in third place, or fourth place rather, as he's going to lead that charge now on the bottom here in the turn number 2.
Nicholas Casey still leading the way. He doesn't have his teammate with him this time, though. Justin Belmonte sitting a little bit further back. But Brody Hanna, he's looking to make his look to the outside. As you see Chuck Sweeting, he's going up to the outside as well. It's going to push Brody up there. That's going to leave Nicholas Casey down by himself with no help. These guys are going to go around him in a hurry on this outside, Jeremy, just because he does not have any help behind him or momentum to help push him up there.
Man, the number 7 had a great run there. Had to check up there. There's no space to go. Chuck Sweeting, who was in the back all race long, finally has a time to shine, and you know he's going to be making some moves to get to that race lead, because his race was not all there, but now it is. He's got a great opportunity to try and take advantage of, as he's behind that 23 here. Strong run here on the bottom with only 2 trucks on the top.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have about 7 trucks, I believe, that's going to be kind of battling it out for this top spot. The Bobby Terrell, Justin Belmonte, they got some damage, and they're not going to be able to compete up with these guys. As we see here on our TV, they're just kind of cruising around battling with themselves for that 8th position there. We got a couple of lap cars that's in this top battle as well, but I'm not seeing, if I'm looking at it, Jeremy, I don't see anybody that's going to be a team effort. Maybe Kevin, Kenneth possibly, but I don't think there's any other teammates up there at the front that's going to be working together.
Yeah, a lot of solo drivers for sure. You are correct on that. And as it stands right now, that 21 is still 1 lap down, and he is going to be your fastest runner right now as far as the guys 1 lap down. So he's putting himself in a decent position. If there's one more caution, if he does not get involved in this one again, he will find himself in a good position. But we're going to come to 10 laps to go at the line here. 23 Brody Hanna leading the way on the bottom.
Yeah, Brody's found his way up to the front, was kind of sitting in the back all race, and made his way up there. But it's going to be hard to hold off these guys in the last 10 laps, especially Chuck Sweeting. We see him there. He's looking low. He's looking high. He's trying to get a good spot, see if he can get a run, calculate when he wants to make a pass. But he's got to worry about that high side as well, because there's 3 trucks up there right now, and Kenny Schultz is trying to make it a 4th one.
Let's see if that number 7 can make a quick charge here, and as they're doing that, quick shout out to the guy we finally got the chance to shout out recently, the iRacing iFlag unit, that 64 light emitting diode LED system. Kind of takes care of all the marshalling that iRacing presents to you. Just a nice little 4x6 3D printed unit. They didn't get to display that all last race. They had no cautions, so it was a great time to plug it out, since we have 2 cautions so far this time in this Atlanta 200. So head over to iRacingIFlag.com and pick one of those up, or at least read about it. You know, it's a unique product, one of a kind. Nobody else has it on the market, and it kind of completes your sim rig all together. Once again, iRacingIFlag.com. Right now, Brody Hanna still leading the way, but that 7 looks like he's a better leader than he is a pusher. It all depends on what gearing you have. I've seen a couple different gearing setups here. One's a little bit higher, one's a little bit lower, and it kind of affects how you can be a pusher or a leader. Right now, that 7, he was pushing that 55 for a while, but now since they were flip-flopped, looks like that 7's a little bit stronger now.
Yeah, it does, and that 55 is one that I would not want in front of me either. So Brody is hoping that he can stay back behind the 7, and the 7's hoping to keep behind him as well, because we saw what the 55 could do. You know, had a little bit of contact with Justin Belmonte on that last one to bring out the last caution, but he's got a fast truck. He's been fast all night, so he's one I would worry about being up front, is that 55 there, Jeff Bratton.
Yeah, he's got a pretty dominant truck here. If he can just get to the bumper of the 7 and help him along, I think we might give that 7 of Wayne Grossi a great chance. Maybe 55 makes it 3 wide. You never know. 3 wide is definitely doable here, even though they've shortened up the track width. I think they moved it to 41 feet right around there from the wall to the white line. So it's a lot more narrow, but still 3 wide is quite possible. And then at 75 on the bottom with that 23. 75 is a great pusher. He's definitely going to help Brody Hanna trying to maximize his efforts to stay in the lead, as we are now coming to 5 laps remaining.
Yeah, 5 laps to go. I don't know if that outside, if that 7 They got the 4 and the 12 there going on the inside. Classy move by those guys not to affect the leaders at all. It just shows you how much speed that this group is doing compared to those trucks that are damaged. But back to that race lead there, the 7 and the 55. I'm not sure the 7 though is got the truck to kind of lead the way. He hasn't been really battling the 23 for the top spot. He's been right there with them, but he hasn't been up there kind of taking those lead laps away from him. I think the 55 might be the one in that outside lane that needs to be leading that pack if they want to have a battle with the inside.
Yeah, they're really spaced out there. So I think, the 75, Chuck Sweeting goes to the top, trying to take advantage of it. He made a really evasive maneuver there. He scrubbed a little bit of speed off, and the 55 shoots up the track, almost hits the wall. He might have actually touched the wall. I'm not too sure. Oh, contact with the 21 and 75 here as the exit turn number 2. They keep it going straight. They do not want to wreck, but I think that 75 with Chuck Sweeting put himself in a pretty good position to go for the race lead.
Yeah, he looks like he hesitated just a touch and then decided, you know what, I'm going for him, going to the outside. And it was scrubbed, like I said, scrubbed a little bit of speed, but not too much to lose. He's going to be open that outside lane still. And Brody's probably got the best pusher behind him that he could have. That's Nicholas Casey. We saw how smooth he was behind his teammate Justin Belmonte, and he's got the speed. So I was going to mention, I could see these guys coming to the last lap where we're going to see some 3 wide, I'd imagine, going for the lead and going all out for it. But if I'm Brody, I like what's a little close there between the 7. I think that's going to put the 55 right there as they went 3 wide. So the 55 right behind the 75, that could be a good combination to get that outside. And here goes Nicholas Casey going to the outside. Great move by him. Good call. We got a 3 wide, though, on the 55 as well.
2 laps to go, 3 wide a couple times that last lap, and the race has really picked up here as they all want to get that checker flag for the first ever race at the newly reconfigured Atlanta Speedway here. The outside, though, 55 and 86 look like they're making a pretty solid push here that pushes Chuck Sweeting back to 5th. His race is all but done unless there's a wreck here. He's going to try to help this high line progress as fast as they can. It is 4 on 4, 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. 1 lap to go here.
Yeah, you can definitely tell we're Super Speedway. Only got 7 cars on the lead lap. Now 6 cars here. That's going to be battling for the race lead. It's going to be the top 2 here, Brody Hamlin, Nicholas Casey. That's going for it. 55, though. Here comes he going 3 wide. He's got the truck all night, Jeff Bratton. He's trying to take this lead away. Not sure if he's going to have the momentum as they're going into 3, though, with Brody Hamlin still leading the way.
He needs all the side drafts he can possibly. He punches it down there. The 21 shoves him off the track a little bit, and this is going to allow the 23 of Brody Hamlin to bring it home in Atlanta 200 in the first race here. What an excellent finish there.
Yeah, Brody was able to take it home. Jeff coming home in 2nd place. I thought, he had a good shot. He had the run, just didn't have enough time. Maybe one more lap or so, he might have had a chance, but wasn't able to take it home, and Brody was able to get it there.
Excellent move by that 55 of Britton down the backstretch to make it 3 wide. It pushed Nicholas Casey from 2nd place to 6th as he crosses the line. Huge move there for that 55. He did not want to play follow the leader. He wanted to he saw the gap. He saw the bump from the 55 come off of turn number 2. He had a great shot at it, and it really propelled him to 2nd place. But all eyes right now on that 23 as he goes to the start-finish line to do his victory burnout for a much celebrated success here at Atlanta. His team did a lot of testing for that short amount of time, and it definitely paid off. It's going to bring Brody Hanna his first win of the season at the Truck Series.
Yeah, good finish there. Able to have a nice little three wide there going into it. Great race overall. That's the only problem with these style racing, though. You don't have many trucks that finish up there. Everyone ends up either wrecking out or something happens. But still had 6 of them battling there for the lead, finishing within 0.3 of each other.
We're going to go over the full race results here as the 23 is doing that reverse style burnout on a straight line, which is one of my favorite ones to do as the Martin Sports post-race show does kick off and underway. Brody Hanna, your winner of tonight's race. 2nd place, you're going to find Jeff Brighton. 3rd place, Chuck Sweeting. 4th place, Kevin Rupert, who came back from getting collected in that the 2nd wreck, does finish in 4th. 5th place, Wayne Grossi. 6th, Nicholas Casey. 7th, Kenneth Scholes. And then everybody else behind them is 1 lap down or more. 8th place, Jeff Langston. 9th, Richie Coy. And to round out the top 10, number 4, Bobby Terrell.
Justin Belmonte coming home in 11th, was leading most of the way. Tony Sawari going to be coming home in 12th. Gil Gawk is going to be 13th. Sherwood Wilford's going to be 14th. And last place, unfortunately, is going to be Andrew Plicki, who had a strong run starting out the first 25 laps there.
Man, what a great run he had there in that 32. And just it takes one little mistake here at a super speedway style racing to take you out of contention. And it hit him hard, and he had to park it early. 75 laps down, completes his run. I do believe, Kenny, we have third place, Mr. Chuck Sweeting, available. We're going to try to get a quick word with him as we bring him into the booth. Chuck Sweeting, got a copy?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Going pretty good up here in the booth, man. You took a pretty easy approach the first half of this race with so many unknowns at Atlanta now. And virtue of a caution, it took out a good chunk of the field. It allowed you to get inside the top three, and you kind of held on to it, man. So congratulations on that. How was this race overall? How was Atlanta out there?
We struggle with the setup. I think everybody did. You know, it's a new place, and nobody's perfectly dialed in yet. Gil had a little misstep on his pit stop, so I dropped back to draft with him, and we got lucky that, well, I got lucky that we both didn't total out there. He got a little loose, and I tapped him and turned him around, and that got me caught back up, but got him a lap down, and I don't know. And then it was just race it out at the end there. It was kind of crazy at the end.
Yeah, I was going to ask what happened there. All of a sudden, we saw y'all drop back, but that answers that question there with Gil Gawk. But you were able to, bring it back up there. What'd you think about that 3 wide they had going on the last lap? Were you just trying to hold it on and see how far you can go up there, or were you pushing it, or what was your thoughts on that last lap there?
Yeah, just like everybody else, try not to lift if you can help it, and hope for the best. Everybody did an awesome job. I can't believe we didn't pile it up there even before the white flag. But yeah, it was a good close racing. This is very different. You're running just like Daytona and Talladega, bumper to bumper, door to door, but you got sharper turns, and you got the dog legs down the front straightaway, and it's tough. It's going to take a while for everybody to get used to it.
Yeah, it's a completely different beast out there. No other track is like it out there in the world right now, with its uniquely designed 1.5 mile super speedway-esque style format. But no, we always give you the floor here at the end of each and every interview. So, is anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Some Racing Points for the help they do with the series, and thanks to Brody and the other admins for the work they do. And it was fun. So, I appreciate everybody putting the effort in this week, and I think we put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, I would agree. It was an excellent show overall. Congratulations once again on finishing third place tonight in the inaugural race at the New Atlanta.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
You got it. And that was third place finisher, Mr. Chuck Sweeting. We're going to see if we can get a word with second place finisher in that 55, Mr. Jeff Brayton. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, congratulations on your second place runner-up position there. You had a dominant truck all race long. It looks like you could have maybe a little bit more help toward the end to get you there, but excellent move. Walk us through especially the last couple of laps there. It was an excellent move on that last lap backstretch pass. You got the run from the 75 to propel you into that run, and also close to that victory, man. So just walk us through that last little bit of that race there.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it was just getting that run, and hopefully that guy either made a mistake and you could just jump in there, and hopefully he wouldn't come back down on you. And that's pretty much what happened. I took the middle there, and
It looked like you and the 21 there had a great truck. Basically since the start of the race, you and him started on the back and made your way up to the top 5 within the first 5 laps, I'd say, and stayed up there the whole night. So overall, what do you feel like your truck felt? It looked like it was strong out there pretty much the whole night. I feel like I was telling Jeremy the last couple of laps that if you get to the lead, that 55 gets to the front of that pack on the outside, look out, he could go for the win here.
yeah, I had made a late gear change in practice. I ran with a 333 instead of the 325, and it really felt strong after that. I don't know if I could just keep the RPMs up. The tack was pretty much red.
Giving out a little bit of secrets there. And yeah, I mean, the truck didn't blow up and it still performed great. It had excellent speed there. So I think that might have been the right call. Looks like a little bit of higher gearing. I noticed too in the practice that we had yesterday for the short bit I drove it. The higher gear seemed to be the way to go. So I'd have to agree with you on that move. But congratulations once again, man, for bringing it home in second place tonight. Anyone out there in the Nerd TV world that's watching you'd love to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my wife Emily, my daughter Samantha, my mom, and my sister. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's good to get up here and talk to you guys finally.
And it's been a long time coming for sure. I'm glad we're able to bring in, and hopefully in the near future we'll be able to bring in more and more. But go and celebrate with everybody, man, on an awesome second place finish tonight.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. And that was Jeff Brayton, second place. First time we got to talk to him here in 2022. Great to get a word in with Jeff. And now it's time to bring in your race winner of that Fury Motorsports number 23, Mr. Brody Hanna. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey man, congratulations on the great performance overall. There's some challenges there along the way, and then a couple of wrecks happen, and then it kind of sets you up for success there. First, I'm going to ask you a little two-parter. How do you enjoy, or how did you enjoy rather, this new Atlanta track? And then second off, how are you able to hold off those people like the 55 who was just had a really dominant truck all race long?
Well, first off, as far as the track goes, I wasn't a fan when they announced what they were doing in Atlanta. I'm really not a fan of it now. It's just basically a super speedway, especially in the trucks. You just hold it wide open and rip the bottom and do the best you can with that. But to answer the second part of your question is kind of one thing that's kind of been on my mind too. Is I actually put a good bit of time and effort into this setup for this track for whatever reason this week. I haven't been maybe putting together the best setups or working on setups, but this week I actually put some work into it, and it kind of paid off. We were trying to get the truck to handle. That was important. Especially towards the end, you could see a lot of guys start to lose the handle. I knew it was going to be important, so we worked on handling and speed and trying to balance the two, and I think we come up with a pretty good combination there.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it, especially when y'all came down on pit road together. You know, we've seen it before with the three Fury Motorsports guys coming down on these Super Speedway style tracks where they come out with the short pit and take everyone away. And other than Richie getting that speeding penalty, it looks like you and Tony were able to pull it off and we're setting a pretty good pace there until Tony got taken out. But was that the plan going into it? Was after that first pit stop trying to get you three together and treat it like a normal restrictor plate track with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, while it was a good race for our, me as a driver, our team did kind of run into some issues and struggles early on with Richie never getting it back on the lead lap after getting a speeding penalty, and then Tony was pretty upset with the 12 after all that happened, and after last week with Richie, there's some not so fond feelings there with a couple guys, but that's the way it rolls, I guess.
Not everyone can be friends all the time. Sometimes when you guys compete at the highest level that you do, things kind of happen on the track, and unfortunately, it's been more recent the past couple weeks. So, but overall, it's got great points gain for you as well. You came into this thing 31 points out, fifth place, and the guys in front of you, minus Chuck Sweeting, all had issues. So you're gonna make a good jump in the points here tonight. Kind of put you in contention for this middle to back half of the season. So congratulations on that as well. Anyone out there on the Nerd TV world you'd love to give a shout out to?
Well, first off, I did have points on the mind tonight. I wanted to have a good points night, especially after Nashville last week. Very frustrated after last week's race. I felt like we had a truck to compete for the win with Richie there, and just did not work out last week. So a lot of frustration, and to bounce back and get a win, that was awesome. So really happy about that. But as far as I got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Got to thank everybody that was out there tonight. Did a good job with what they had. I knew it was going to be a challenging race. Honestly, didn't see the big one like I thought we would, per se. And pretty good racing early on. So good job by everybody there. Shout out to Bratton for his second place finish. That's awesome to see. Got to say thanks to Jeff Langston for the push there at the end, the 21, and working with Chuck. And thank everybody watching. Continue to watch. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Check them out every week on Wednesdays and Mondays. We broadcast. So yeah, that's about it. Got to thank the team too. Tony did a little work with me on the setup, but got to thank the team. So we'll head on from Atlanta.
All right, man. Yeah, congratulations once again on bringing home the W, your first win of season 2022B. So go ahead and celebrate that.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. And that was at number 23, Brody Hanna. Tonight's winner gets his first win of the season. Kenny, I know we talked about it and you kind of had a different opinion or a similar opinion to Brody did during our commercial break. How did you feel like toward the end of the race, though? Was it more so the same or did you feel a little bit different?
Yeah, it's still the same. I mean, it's just a restrictor plate track to me. I mean, it was good battles. It just sucks, unfortunately, you don't have that many people finished up towards the front there, but that's just the battle it is with these style races here. But it's still a good battle, good racing. But yeah, just like you kind of said, just another restrictor plate track.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is. It's a little bit different approach because it's a little bit tighter, but yeah, I mean, you're nose to tail and you're drafting each other, so very much similar, but some differences. But overall, I thought it was pretty all right. I mean, I personally enjoy Atlanta regardless, so I kind of have a biased opinion on that, I suppose. But either way, I enjoyed tonight's race, and as far as the rest of the season goes, Kenny, we're about halfway done with the season. Next up is New Hampshire, and then we have Pocono, and then Lucas Oil. So we're going to a 1 mile, and then to a large two plus mile track, and then down to a short track. So a little bit all over the place for the remainder of the season until we get to that end, which is one more Super Speedway at Daytona. So should shake up the points, as not every race is. It's a little bit different. So let's see what these guys can do to try to take home the 2022B championship title. But we're going to bring this thing to a close. Quick shout out to our sponsors before we do so. FTSR.net. Please come over here and register, sign up, race with us. It's a great time over here. Us nerds try to partake in the Thursday events. I know me and Dustin have done so a lot, and then Kenny's been doing a little bit as well. It's a great time over on. It's free. Sign up. What's it worth, man? Just give it a shot. FTSR.net. Mach 1 Performance for the sponsor for the Cup Series, a fabrication shop that produces championships across the board. So check out Mach 1 Performance. And then tonight's Truck Series sponsor, the Sim Racing Points. If your league's not registered for them yet, get them signed up today. Takes care of all your stats for you in a really easy format to figure out, and that's at simracingpoints.com. Shout out Martin Sports at martinsports906.com. Plethora of options as far as your upper half of your body is concerned. And when you check out with anything that you purchase from martinsports906.com, make sure to use Super Nerd at checkout for a whopping 25% off. Thank you to iRacingIFlag.com for your continued support as well with that race marshaling system, up to 30 different iRacing commands, all thrown in a little box that sits on your desk that completes the sim rig. Use code SUPERNERD this time, 15% off when you purchase that product. Shout out to the Butt Kicker for the continued partnership with being our audio enhancement provider. With the buttkicker.com. The Gamer 2 unit is the standard in sim racing immersion. It gives you all the tap feedback from the track into your seat. No product like it out there on the market. Once again, buttkicker.com. Moonlight Speed over at moonlightspeed.com. Going to bring you home W's for sure in any asphalt oval style racing that you do. Then houseofspeed.us has you covered on the dirt oval stuff. Check them out on Twitter and their websites respectively and sign up to get yourself some wins today. And then Nerd Focus. Use that code SUPERNERD for 10% off their 2 amazing flavored drinks that are going to keep you wired for hours on end, the only way the nerds know how to do so. All right, that's going to bring it close to tonight's broadcast. We're going to catch you guys live Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Cup Series to take on this 1.5 mile Super Speedway now at Atlanta. Until then, you guys stay safe out there and make sure, as always, to get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.